All right, where your friend a betty when you so. Wow, we want us our picture. Our miruma, bisa who say intimini. Suban we are me and I say that is something we are going to discuss today. I was for many a lot of calls coming from NDC for Bebre and or people who voted for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's administration. The complaint is that it seems say or they think that the president is failing. And I said the president has failed. But I keep on telling them the president's the mandate and the inquiry here, so we cannot say he has failed. But so if Oka say he seems to be failing there, we can discuss that. So that is what we are going to discuss today. If I in the comment section, do you think that the president has failed? Or do you think that he's failing? But their viewpoint is in relation to corruption. If I say NDC for any corrupt. But majority of Ghanaians, the public sentiment, and they say NPP4, Koromfo. The past administration, they were so corrupt to say, so majority of Ghanaians actually wanted His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's administration to punish these corrupted officials. But according to majority of Ghanaians, I mean, they say, it seems to say the presidency, the fight against corruption, is very slow. It's going at a slower pace than what they actually expected. But that is something we are going to discuss today. In the comment section. Because the Public Accounts Committee in semi course what we say NPP4. Sika omoria the past administration, it seems to be in Ghana. Ghana, Ghana, and as in the Fourth Republic, you share that encounter corrupt officials are being seen that except under Nana Addo Dankwa-Akufo-Addo. That particular administration seems to be say as a chrono, it was institutionalized as a bra na bewia na obenya na fako ya dia odebe. Okay, say Nana Addo Dankwa-Akufo-Addo catch the appointees and they say opiska dia enya na ba mu private sector, not knowing it was the opposite way. Bra ma ba mu na bebo chrono uwia afako obi antimi nya ohwe. Ene Inyini say the former finance minister na one Nana Addo Dankwa-Akufo-Addo ene som Ghana yie ene wadwane ehwe na ihuno enyo no nko ene Nana Asante bedi atuo Nana Asante say ono de wanya stroke into a yare for means o touch Nana Asante bedi atuo a entache but yenyini say COVID by and Nana Asante bedi atuo yere ene na busuafo ene na yete airport a na ye COVID-19 test. But you say sika efa he. Hopes ya do say ye adwuma airport ye Pamliff airport e de man Nana Asante be there to yere. But you sika say na efi hoba. That is something we are going to discuss today. Because mine ye chichire no enye gidigidi. We need to be very gentle and very soft with some government officials. Send be ya wo be sika bia no system nankasa ebechew. Are we sure say we are fighting corruption, or are we sure say fighting corruption no is so easy and I say corruption and fighting Ghana? But you waiting to adventure aba because ya nyene sa Ghana no intimi enchichere Ghana ye. So that is what we are going to discuss today. But you I don't want this particular show to be like a one-man show. Because we are building a family channel. That is what we are doing. The fight against corruption currently, no, and another down for the appointees a bulk chronon, it seems to say a very, very slow. Into visit a dear potting and it is hard, no, ever. Is it say President John Dramani Mahama M-Pesa the fight against corruption in Ghana for Becca say, or you seen it as a witch hunting? And I say, a interest in a work to recoup the car for a real and a very, very slow. But your office is a here. And of course, say, we need to assess that kind of situations. Now, if you hear, is it say the Nipanako quarter, you strong evidence and found more and answer then? And when I watched the video, lawyer Morris Sampa was trying to address Chairman Wunjumenene former MD issue, no. But he said something. A strike came. To be honest, sometimes one say we need to listen to other political ideas from different people and then try to make sense out of it by ourselves. Lawyer Morris Sampa will say, the game Attorney General Epelini say, Ochi Chairman Wunjumen only evidence. Into a coherency the former MD say, hey, one man side me dobetum, ehunihuna papa no. Ama papa na accept say Obaba be prosecution witness against his own boss. Is this a nipa na echi there's no strong evidence against them and answer them. But in criminal trial, evidence is the game. Uchi nipa na say only evidence biya, there's nothing obitimi aye. Is that the case and answer them? Well, you know, we need to start to discuss all these kind of things. And answer, is it the legal system of Ghana no? And very, very slow. If I say former President John Ajikun Kufuor at the fast track high court by very quick, swift, NDC under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama a promise say at the tribunal bibeba ye be establishing all regional capitals. But so as a grrr pa near dear but President John Dramani Mahama akwanya so 11 months mu anyway. But do you think say 3 months, 3 years in a hakano? I established this particular tribunals at the DSM. And how quick and how swift and those tribunals the bit me DSM. Or are we going to go the 8 years? But we need to discuss all these kind of things. Or was it just a political promise? And was it just a mere political promise? And I said there were some substances in it. In my church, nipa as a charges here, they are both nipa bibrenti say give to a wire money and say for no. Sika kesia. But I didn't nipa court and court am on bail. But if we are, you who what actually we are doing. Yeah, Bisa Attorney General, or say the judicial system no, that is making him slower. Is there no any other alternative way to Mama system I faster? But the public sentiment and they say Abayano is slow in tackling corruption and corrupted related offenses. A year ago, Domilovo say, see a trouble man also be fighting corruption. I want to fight corruption now. Either say Coronono, also you intend to say also be booby. Into bay you scratch my back, I scratch your back, and I say also booby. Into so also feel so a better. But you see in 7 years, Domilovo na kai former Auditor General or can buy we home. Or say, Sir President John Dramani Mahama efeli the fight against corruption. It is either say his administration and so ebo Corono be, and I say they intend some to be Corono be. That is why they fear. Say a betchi NPP for send a bear NPP for so ba ye mechi. Is that the case? And I said, what do you make of these kind of things? Well, these are very also this particular show ain't yet questions to maybe sir. Unya video will be now here in the comment section. Now do I be in Chiraba? Then we all do the discussions together. That is how I want us to be doing things. Because here when you are a bit of a Gabriel and I'm a read out of my way part one way. When Pesa bear to say a 1 man show keke any ye. You discuss it. Is it a buying way no? Is focusing on the economy over punishing the ex-government officials and I said Yebeba economy, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama's administration are performing wonders. But it seems that is not what Ghanaians want. Mr. Otimi, see you talk about the Mawa. Obeba kumyaswa, you bring your own manifesto. Nema opese we yema mindful. Then having one power no, any power ni we are. Time move on so wa dia ihe free ho. These are two different things. Meba meje we, meba meje we, meba meje say, meba meje say. Oh, na Ghana for to abama. By to abama we are oba time move on here at the fufuru be free ho. But many a times no, ube who say, ube ya dia wo pe set time move on pe, but that is not what time move on to here. But you tini ye ninko mone kama pa. E to abade mawa. Me ma dwemu no ese oye ne atim amufo no epe. Enya ne ya wo fi se omupe. There will be a time ne ya wo fi se ye mo no, you approach them how mbe accept. Ba o sha se ne dia ya ade a omo pe. And when they are satisfied, then they will agree with you. But your officer, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Amamumuno, have they conducted a lot of research? I will say, Timamufonope, this kind of development over fighting corruption. Now, I say, Yenchichi Abayan that for in Gumuno. Which one do you think is Ghana for pay? We need to address this kind of things very, very, very peacefully. Because you are really at the problem. Meaning, I say, so far so good. I believe President Mahama is doing well, but I'll reserve my final judgment until Bawumia and all those who have stolen funds are jailed and the money is retrieved. Exactly, that is what I'm talking about, Minia. Every day I get calls, text messages. People are asking, "Da ben yedi want to me betum, da ben yedi give to ware betum, da ben yedi we betum, da ben yedi we betum." It means a Ghanaian's interest, ewo jailing ex-government officials are on corruption, but not entirely on the economy. Because Yenimse forcing is performing very, very well. But Ghana for interest, Mr. President, almost a can't say the interest as we speak, SCB who say, yeah, they are buying that they move for no, akugu efiasi because my bomma chrono. So it's not entirely said the president has failed or is failing. But at the time, when here free president, they are saying, say, Mr. President, you are not doing it. Also, January, they say, or November, people are not seeing, say, it will be akoto efiase. So, Attorney General, this is a message from Ghanaians to you. That is why I'm doing it very, very softly. Sene be ya nyina ye beti ye ho ase. Se yentiman jeli government officials dadana. Public trust in governance, in democracy, in our leaders. And drop it, Mr. President. Bafom. Onime ya agama me thumbs up. The trust and nipa wo ma ye democracy no. Akofom. Now I posted a video where Yaudomelo say, Mr. President, what can say? Say who fail Ghana for in the fight against corruption and where military coup beat Messi Ghana. Now when you say military coup, see it be trebi mama. So that is what you fear. And I loved that particular statement. The president, but Ghana for some can't say, oh yeah, che. He slow. Kasa no adoso. You are performing on the economy. Governance, 100%. A boy in some mouth. You seek a sem, autotuni ye, a boy in some mouth. Suku sem, o bom paye, o bom homode, ye bom paye mouth, o bom homode. Aso pity hospitals, oh yeah, dear. Now, mum, say one team fight corruption by say, obeche government ex officials, Neguma, Mr. President. Ghanaians will not forgive you. But this is the debate with the Munufi. TME and some American, Matome Boase, and American here. Say, we will boost confidence in the opposition. I'm opposition, the bear campaign say, one was all did to say, yeah, corruption, yeah, corrupt official, or by when Timon Faco Trebacorantum. Aboronye DC gina simpie so catch say John Mahama's administration 4 years before we ontime for obi antum. But Mr. President 1 year na kwa we. And we are people will tend to believe the opposition say oh say na mo nya akorom for yede to mo so kwa. Isense yentime for obi a anko afiase. Mr. President, Attorney General. Ene wa wo ka e biba mu bia no. Mama yembusi opposition's narrative say we are not corrupt, but a false accusation and omede to yen so. Ghanaians are yearning say be who say chama wuntumi mo eda fiase. If say who say gift or warren can na ye kase nka gift or warren be di buronya e won sebom. Esi who say nipa bebre amabobo mudi so ma disika twitwiri de nyina say nke who say omugu afiase. The president, Ghanaians are saying say you are failing them. Because buronya ekwakodi o ma ye da reho na be di buronya say ti asenko a e ma ye mfa reho eni buronya. And I'm telling you, say you are creating fear among NDC supporters or people who supported you because they say Omunya Sembianka. Urano was the biggest political message Ghana for Eji Utum, Mr. President. Operation Recover All Loot. Ghana for any many padudo now to abadema NDC and his excellency John Domini Mama because they say okay say over fighting corruption. Why Jessica Manfo a na Operation Recover All Loot. So you're going to recover all the looted resources of the country. Oh yeah, my mom for confidence level no. I drop it, Mr. President. This is the message they said I should give it to you. Eng shedang hawa dwen kese. Ye kane kakranka me boboso. Na ye de mere pamu no, ye de nyina baba. Si ye de nanado dan kwa kufu da mambo mu. And Era Kufu Amambomu, Era Rollins Amamoma, Mr. President, you stand the chance of fighting corruption. Actually, I loved how your first administration you were fighting corruption. In the second one, we outside the Ora Bayano, it was the best. But the pace at which were they fighting? Bamu Yebu. Or is it say you are avoiding political vendetta? Mr. President, we need to do this kind of things because prosecuting former leaders, no. Why going say be na at the tension beba system no man accident. NPP for they don't have any power. Micro minority musa it me pama mo free man ye. Mr. President, who boy juma man ko anymore. And I said, do you intend to forgive them? My entias here. If you think that forgiveness is part of the national agenda, say, okay, me and I'm can't fight corruption. But my buyer, who says he call my dino because of me domoko tuma or better if you sent me yem fan chomo. Then we can also understand you from that point. We might agree with you. And I said, do you have a strategy? Say timing is what you are playing with. Obviously, you know about to answer all the makotum. And I said, you need to let us know. We are yearning for all these kind of things. A woman say economy, say what deliver? International relations, why are they? You have allowed institutions of state to work 100%. Everybody agrees with you. And the court, you don't interfere with the judicial system. Police ni yen ejuma, soldier ni yen ejuma. Social programs no, who administer. Very, very perfect. But that one thing, jailing them, Ghana foresee. We need it in the system. Mr. President, Mr. Ghana for here. Possible future consequences. If corruption prosecutions are not happening, say one chinipa, Mr. President, I have jotted a lot of points. A bit may affect the next election. 2028. I don't know what we're gonna say. Yeah, Castle NP before you for your baby Jelomo. We are going to recover all looted resources. We came and we couldn't do anything. We did nothing. Maybe you can tell us. Possible future consequences. It might affect NDC's grassroots. It will affect it drastically. The community, although say you are doing a wonderful work on the economy and other things. But me nyase bianca because the basic thing na yin ehwe na say obe jeli san krofo am bo koro no. OSP be kan kire say okofa kenufo data ba. Ene ono ankasa na ma say oto nyom waye san konam no so no ntimi mfa ne mba. Also ni baby papa na say bo ntimi mfa ne mba. But these were all political messages. So what are we going to tell Ghanaians in 2028? We need to know. Or do you think say who fail to do that wouldn't what affect corruption? But my corruption be nya taban a two. I will say, oh, yeah, Simon Wieska could be anti Yamape. The president, that is where we are going now. And that is what Ghanaians are thinking. Say, oh, my uncle Wieska could be anti Yamape. Wieska could be anti Yamape. Who first can have a call? We be anyhow. That is what we are doing, and that is where we are getting to. Chidi Chata says, Monufi, I have a feeling that the AG is simply waiting for the new Chief Justice to be approved. Well, if that is the case, Chiti, we are all watching. The comedy, the kind of messages and the calls I've been receiving, no, sometimes a hammer. To ask a Ghana for confidence in this particular administration, say, which may jelly ex-officials and as a air conform. Now, when we get to that level now, it be hard way. Mr. President, you are doing wonderful things. Ubi anti me nkase oba amamumu no onye adwuma, obo adwuma papa. Man list a lot of things, economy, social issue, job creation, stabilizing the Ghana CD, whatever. Rating agencies in a amount of funds. About Juma, but Ghana for some countries is a one chi akromfo nguma as and recover those looted resources na emfa 2028 and this be win by bre be din obi obokro no bia mesrew chi no kiska no ko yentimi international market for ata enwia Ghana sika nso de nkotana America enchele na ho no we pizza no we sushi abra man no esofa gift or warranty me mieska kwikiri die ensan nam hot say na wanya hwe no yo nipa bebre ho amanum yakase bobo mudin a yenyine nim so ma wieska e wom se bi mu ko yoko ni na say for the but that is not enough. Ghanaians want to see them behind bars. So it will be could be a punching, we could be a quiet money 6 years. Na nagra da 15 years in budget kase na edit one so keto abi ba osesi be mu pesika o mo wie over 2.5 billion Ghana cedis. They are working on the streets of Ghana free. Time I want to make iska to kudia buru sika na hye. Onua buru amfa buru betem krama yet onam ho obi anka na hwe. Enye ono kwa nipa we bre Hanan money allergies wife mo you know this kind of people omo nyina this kind matters allergies wife de kura omo so odwana kwatana se Canada o se de. So odwana ko US o se de. Si Mustafa Hamid yan fa the passport man o de man oko omabiem. Mr. President, Mr. For nice form, let's work together. Magana for who's a we show boy, we action man, some now kind of would do so. But the slower pace at which I would fight corruption, Mr. President, Ghana for some can just say they are not happy with it. So this is the debate with the Munufi. And then maybe see what Hanyami had watching. You meet and then do more discussing. Chidi chata, me da senti Nyami had watching. Yeah, baba. Nyamko any ubi antena. Bye bye.